The ancient Zen Buddhist sages teach us that just as a dog that breathes quickly lives fewer years than a turtle that breathes slowly, the wisdom of life lies in understanding the rhythm of breathing. A human being who receives a finite number of breaths throughout life can prolong their time in this world by slowing down their breathing and delving into their vital flow. The ancestral masters began to explore the science of conscious breathing, recognizing that the count of years is not fixed, but it is the number of breaths that determines our journey. When breathing, we must naturally connect, feeling the air in the sacred places of the lungs and the heart. Breathing is not just inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. It is much more than that. Breathing is life and has a hidden power that most are unaware of. You see, there are ancient traditions that reveal a deep connection between our breath and our mind. Believe it or not, the key to calming that restless voice in your heads is as close as your next breath. Want a shocking fact? A study found that simply observing your breath without trying to change it reduces activity in the part of your brain where worries, plans, and distractions reside, just by paying attention to your breath as it comes and goes naturally. Now you might be wondering, how is that possible? How can something we take for granted have such healing power for the mind? Don't go away. At the end of this video, we will reveal this ancient respiratory secret to quiet even the most frenetic mind. But before revealing these ancient secrets, let's dive fully into the mind-breath relationship. And what better way than by listening to a fascinating Zen story about it? Then, to fully explore this powerful yet subtle connection, I'll share with you 15 amazing breathing secrets to calm the mind. They are simple yet profound techniques that you can apply in your daily life when you feel your mind racing or stressed. So first, relax and enjoy this revealing story, and then get ready to memorize these 15 mental breathing tricks that I promise will make a tangible difference in how you feel and face daily challenges. In the distant lands of the Kingdom of Serenity, a young monk named Kale was on a quest for inner peace. Unlike his peers, Kale had always struggled with a restless mind and tumultuous thoughts that hindered him from attaining peace during meditation. His master, the wise monk Eldor, entrusted him with a meditation trial at the ancient Temple of Whispers, located atop an ancient Himalayan mountain. It was a mysterious and secluded place deep within the ancestral forest. Kale accepted the challenge with determination, but as he ventured into the solemn structure of the temple, the restlessness in his mind intensified. The whispers of the ancient trees seemed to mock his struggle, and every attempt at meditation was disrupted by tumultuous thoughts. Frustrated, he sprang to his feet. "It's futile!" he shouted towards the trees. Kale left the temple and ventured into the forest in search of answers. "I am a failure," he repeated to himself over and over. He was trapped in that forest in the middle of nowhere. He wouldn't be able to complete his trial. His master would be deeply disappointed. Negative thoughts swirled out of control. Kale clutched his head in despair, tears streaming down his cheeks. He was alone, trapped in that forest, and the storm seemed like it would never end. Under the shade of an ancient tree, Kale sat with his legs crossed and sighed deeply. However, the inner struggle persisted. It was then that a wandering elder, dressed in worn robes, appeared among the trees. His name was Master Lin, a wise monk known for his profound knowledge in the art of mindful breathing. Kale poured out his entire story to the mysterious elder who had rescued him from falling prey to the forest. He spoke of his struggles to quiet his mind, of his master's meditation challenge, and of how he had become trapped in the forest, fleeing from the whispers of the Temple of Whispers his master sent him to. The wise monk listened attentively, nodding silently from time to time. When Kale finished his tale, the elder spoke slowly. "I have dedicated my life to studying the restless nature of the mind, much like you. Many spiritual seekers come to these lands fleeing internal storms, longing for mental calm. But very few manage to overcome the hypnotic allure of the ancestral forest. Young Kale, I see the storm in your mind. The key to finding calmness lies in the breath," said the elder with a serene voice. Intrigued, Kale accepted the master's invitation to learn the ancient breathing techniques that had been passed down from generation to generation. Under Master Lin's guidance, Kale began his training. Once settled, Lin spoke, staring directly at Kale. "I see much turbulence in your eyes, young one. While you have made progress on the path to mental stillness, you still need to connect more deeply with your body." He then took several dry branches and kindled a fire, tossing the branches into the flames while chanting in an arcane language. The flames grew intense and a vivid blue color. The atmosphere filled with a pleasant fragrance. Fire purifies us and reminds us that everything flows, nothing remains unchanged, just like our breath, just like our thoughts that come and go. After meditating on those words in front of the flames, Lin instructed Kale to lie down on some soft cushions. He skillfully placed his hands on the young man's abdomen. Inhale deeply, filling your entire belly with air. Then, release it very slowly, deflating your body like a wineskin. Kale followed Lin's instructions, surprised by his lung capacity as he inhaled. He had never before filled his abdomen with air like this, and as he exhaled, he felt a pleasant sensation of relaxation spreading through his limbs. They continued like this for a long time, with Kale inhaling as much air as he could and holding it for a few seconds, then Lin instructing him to release it very gradually. Each exhalation was more relaxing than the last. Gradually, Kale felt his mind aligning in synchrony with that deep breathing rhythm. When he opened his eyes, the blue flames seemed to dance, reflected in Lin's serene gaze. Kale learned to inhale the essence of the forest and exhale the worries that tormented his mind. He immersed himself in the practice of counting his breaths, focusing his attention on the constant flow of air. After the restorative encounter with Lin, Kale eagerly sought to learn as much as possible to continue on that path. Kale retired to rest in a small stone cell. He was certain that his most restful and thought-free night of sleep awaited him since he could remember. Kale woke up at dawn feeling completely rested after a restorative night of sleep, just as he had predicted. The powerful rays of the sun illuminated the small stone cell where he had rested on a straw pallet. Ready to seize the day, he quickly freshened up, donned his simple linen robes, and set out in search of Lin. Grateful, Kale bid farewell to Master Lin and returned to the realm of serenity. Once in the realm of serenity, Kale sought out the elderly monk Eldor, finding him seated in a lotus position at the entrance of the realm, bathed in the golden light of the rising sun. "Good morning, great sage. Would you allow me to join you in your morning meditation?" Kale asked, kneeling beside him on the dewy grass. "I am very glad to see you so rested and alert, young friend. Your inner radiance is evident. You have made tremendous progress in these days," the elderly monk expressed proudly. "Join me in silent contemplation at dawn," the elder invited. Kale did so, closing his eyes and focusing his attention on the flow of his breath, just as Lin had taught him. Gradually, he felt his mind quieting, silencing the mental chatter. Suddenly, guttural squawks tore through the morning stillness. Startled, Kale opened his eyes and saw a huge crowned eagle struggling to free itself from between some rocks at the foot of the mountain, with one wing visibly injured. Without a word, Kale swiftly ran to its aid, agilely climbing the steep slope. When he reached the majestic bird, he proceeded to examine its wounds very carefully, applying gentle massages to the injured wing. The eagle, far from feeling intimidated, stared fixedly at Kale, breathing heavily but without resisting, as if it knew that the young monk had good intentions. Kale spoke to it in a soft voice and calm gaze, while manipulating the wing to assess the injury. Finally, after a tense few minutes, the bird was able to spread its powerful wings to their full span, squawking loudly. Kale smiled, satisfied to have been able to help it. The eagle rubbed its beak affectionately against the monk's cheek in gratitude before taking flight toward its freedom. Kale watched it fly away toward the horizon with a chest swollen with pride. All the calm he had acquired in these days of intense respiratory training had allowed him to gain the trust of the bird and heal its wounds so that it could fly again. After successfully rescuing and healing the injured eagle, thanks to the serenity achieved through his conscious breathing techniques, Kale felt more self-assured and in control of his own mind. he descended swiftly down the mountainside to reunite with his revered master, the elderly monk, who awaited him outside the cave with a proud smile on his wrinkled face. "Dear boy, you have left me speechless with such a display of compassion and wisdom. Never forget that conscious breathing is the master key to connecting with our better nature," the wise one expressed with a voice filled with emotion. Kyle made a respectful bow, blushing at the well-deserved praise. There were no doubts left in his heart that he was on the true path to virtue and enlightenment, thanks to the mystical relationship between breath and mental stillness. "Kale, you have passed the test of meditation with wisdom, but more importantly, you have found the key to inner peace," Eldor said, proud. After accompanying Kale throughout his inspiring journey of self-discovery, facing incredible challenges and deeply connecting with his breath, emerges a clear teaching. Unwavering mental peace lies within us, accessible with each new conscious breath if we know how to tune into it. Quieting wandering thoughts through simple yet powerful breathing techniques can transform us as individuals. Encounter after encounter with our purest essential self is admirable, the introspective journey that Kale embarked on, guided by his spiritual mentors. But now, the time has come for you who are watching this to experience the amazing benefits of mastering the mind through breathing. Yes, I will reveal step-by-step 15 valuable ancient insights to achieve clarity, focus, relaxation, and fulfillment through something we take for granted, but which holds wonders: our conscious breathing. Keep listening and learning. Kale will surely be smiling proudly from some distant and timeless sacred mountain to see that his journey inspired more seekers of mental stillness to breathe and be happy. The first technique is diaphragmatic or abdominal breathing. It is a very simple but powerful technique to combat stress and anxiety. Simply inhale deeply, filling the entire abdominal cavity with air. Hold for a few moments and then exhale very slowly, emptying all the oxygen. By focusing on bringing the air into the diaphragm area, which is the muscle that separates the chest from the abdomen, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for bodily relaxation and calmness. This is because the diaphragm massages the internal organs with its deep breathing movement, sending direct signals to slow down the heart rate and lower blood pressure. Practicing abdominal breathing for a few minutes a day, especially in stressful situations, is highly recommended. It will help you regain calmness, lucidity, and control of your emotions. Counting while inhaling and exhaling calms the wandering mind. Your mind is a constant whirlwind of thoughts. You struggle to focus, and your attention jumps from one idea to another without control. So this technique of counting while breathing will help you center yourself. It is a millennia-old practice from the Buddhist meditative tradition, capable of quieting even the most hyperactive mental monkey. The best part is that you can do it anytime and anywhere without needing more than paying attention to your breath. It simply involves inhaling while mentally counting to 4, then pausing without air while counting to 2, and finally exhaling while counting to 6. Repeat this cycle over and over again each time you inhale and exhale. By having your mind focused solely on the breathing count, distractions and intrusive automated thoughts begin to diminish. It's as if you gently but firmly tell your brain, "Now we will only pay attention to the breath, and your mind will thank you." A study on Tibetan monks demonstrated that this practice activates the frontal lobe of the brain, a region linked to emotional well-being. Additionally, it reduces anxiety and muscle tension. With just 5 minutes of breathing while counting inhalations and exhalations, you will already feel its calming effects. Although ideally practiced for 15 or 20 minutes with closed eyes to enhance internal focus. A key piece of advice is not to become frustrated or abandon the counting if the mind wanders. Simply start counting from 1 again each time you inhale, over and over. That is the key to progressively tame your wandering mind with kindness, patience, and perseverance. Remember the words of the great Buddhist master Patemsambhava. In the meditator's sphere, the air is not confined because the sky lies in their heart. So breathe and elevate your spirit. Breathing slowly induces relaxation. Do you feel like you're always rushed and anxious? Your breathing seems like a perpetual panting as you go from one task to another without pause. This simple breathing trick will make you slow down your body and mind in minutes. The key is to expand your breaths to be as slow and deep as possible, savoring each inhalation and exhalation with full calmness. You will see that by lengthening that subtle breathing rhythm, your entire nervous and metabolic system begins to slow down as if by magic. Research confirms that 8 minutes of slow and deep breathing activate the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for the famous relaxation response. This triggers a cascade of calming and regenerative effects throughout the body. It reduces beats per minute, lowers blood pressure, releases muscle tension, decreases cortisol, and reduces inflammation in cells and tissues. Eastern yoga and meditation traditions have known for thousands of years this redeeming power of conscious, deep, and tranquil breathing. The key is to find your resilient breathing rhythm, approximately 4-6 inhalations per minute. This is achieved by focusing all your attention solely on inhaling, briefly holding the breath, and exhaling long and subtly. Not only will you feel the relaxing effects in the present moment and greatly reduce your overall stress and distress, but by practicing it regularly, most experts agree that it reverses anxiety, chronic fatigue, and even autoimmune disorders. So, when you notice that your mind is racing or agitated like the sea on a stormy day, find a quiet place, close your eyes, and breathe in the slowest, lightest, and deepest way possible. It's your direct path to inner calm. Inhale and exhale slower for better sleep. Do you have trouble falling asleep or wake up frequently during the night? This breathing trick for sleep will greatly help you rest deeply. It has been scientifically proven that conscious and slowed breathing has a sedative effect on the nervous system, inducing states of drowsiness and deep relaxation. This is because, by lengthening both inhalation and exhalation, we activate specialized sensory fibers called mechanoreceptors scattered throughout the lungs, chest, and neck. These nerve endings send direct signals to the brain indicating that it should prepare for sleep when detecting a calm breathing pattern. Like a biological switch for rest, the technique simply involves silently inhaling, counting to 5, briefly holding the breath, and exhaling even slower until 7, repeating the cycle over and over. You can do this lying down in bed before sleep or at any other time of the day when you feel exhausted. To maximize its relaxing effects, visualize with each longer exhalation how you release tensions and worries, freeing your body and mind from heavy burdens. The regularity of this breathing rhythm will make you feel an exquisite sense of calm and drowsiness in a few minutes, precursor to the descent into the restorative world of dreams. Even if you don't manage to fall asleep, the simple act of deeply oxygenating every cell and tissue from head to toe generates revitalizing neurochemical waves that relax and refresh. So there you have it. To sleep like a baby, focus your full attention on expanding that delightful dance of inhaling and exhaling without restraint. The veil of sleep awaits you on the other side. Breathe deeply to calm down quickly. You're going through a moment of intense stress or distress, feeling anxiety and panic taking over. This simple but quick breathing trick will help you regain calmness in a matter of minutes. It's called square or box breathing, and it's used in yoga, meditation, and cognitive and behavioral therapies for its effectiveness in inducing states of serenity and relaxation. Even in the most turbulent situations, you just need to inhale while counting to 4, hold the breath also for 4 counts, exhale in 4 counts, and finally hold without air for another 4 seconds, then repeat the cycle. That symmetrical rhythm of filling the lungs, pausing, emptying them, and holding again activates the vagus nerve, responsible for slowing down heartbeats, lowering blood pressure, and reducing the secretion of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. In just 1 minute of square breathing, you will start to feel calmer and more centered. You can do it seated at your desk, in the car, trapped in traffic just before a challenging appointment or conference that triggers anxiety. Wherever you feel like you're losing control, breathing deeply in that 4x4 rhythm imposes a forced calmness that expands, infecting your entire nervous, endocrine, and immune system. Not only does it mitigate transient panic and distress, but practicing it for a few minutes a day generates enormous benefits for your physical and mental health in the long run. So, when in doubt, take a deep breath, inhale serenity, exhale peace. To conclude, I will share exclusively for you a rarely revealed exercise of guided breathing control and reflection, vital for health and longevity. I will teach you step by step. Here we go. 1. Preparation. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably. Maintain an upright posture, as advised by the wise ones of Zen Buddhism. Close your eyes gently to focus internally. 2. Conscious breathing. Begin by inhaling deeply through the nose, feeling the air fill your lungs. Exhale slowly through the mouth, releasing any accumulated tension. Continue this cycle of deep breathing for a few minutes, focusing only on the breath. 3. Desire control. While breathing consciously, reflect on a desire or impulse you would like to control. Connect with the wisdom of the sages. Reducing desire in some fingers may have subtle impacts on the human experience. 4. Meditation on breathing and inner power. As you delve deeper into the breath, visualize the benefits mentioned in the teachings. Explore how conscious control of desire can influence your mental, emotional, and physical abilities. 5. Self-discovery. Take a pause to reflect on how your breathing reflects your mental and emotional state. Consider the simple practices mentioned by the sages and how they can translate into your daily life. 6. Affirmation and intention. Set an intention related to conscious breathing control and mastery of desires. Create a positive affirmation that you can repeat throughout the day to strengthen your commitment. 7. Closure. End the exercise by expressing gratitude for the opportunity to explore your inner self. Open your eyes slowly and return to the present moment. This exercise combines elements of Zen Buddhism wisdom, focusing on conscious breathing control, reflection on desires, and simple practices to provide balance, achieving health and longevity. Remember, you are a being deserving of all wealth, love, health, success, and prosperity in this boundless universe. Thank you for being part of this channel. Remember to subscribe, like, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. So there you have it. When in doubt, take a deep breath, inhale serenity, and exhale peace.